Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into Army Doctrine Publication 2.0, Intelligence.
Yeah,
A critical document for any military professional.
absolutely.
You've shared this important source with us.
Yeah.
And we're ready to break down the core principles, analyze those recurring themes,
Right.
and discuss how this doctrine applies to real-world scenarios.
What's fascinating about ADP 2.0 is its emphasis on how intelligence has evolved in modern warfare.
Okay.
The document underscores the transition to multi-domain operations, or MDO,
Right.
and how this impacts our entire approach to intelligence.
That's a great point. It definitely sets the stage for understanding the complexities of the modern battle space.
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways from the document regarding MDO?
Well, the document highlights the expanded battle space, going beyond the traditional domains of land, sea, and air to encompass cyber and space.
Right.
This means a more intricate and interconnected battlefield
Uh-huh.
where information dominance is paramount.
So how does ADP 2.0 address the challenges of gathering and utilizing intelligence in such a complex environment?
It stresses the need for a robust and adaptable intelligence architecture.
Okay.
This means having systems and processes in place
Right.
that can effectively collect, process, exploit, and disseminate information across all echelons, from national all the way down to the tactical level.
That makes sense. It seems like the traditional model of intelligence gathering, with a clear distinction between those who collect and those who analyze, is no longer sufficient in the MDO environment.
Exactly, and that's where this idea of every soldier is a sensor comes in.
Okay.
The document really hammers home the point that everyone on the ground plays a role in building that complete intelligence picture,
Right.
not just dedicated intelligence professionals.
It's almost like a force multiplier where every soldier can contribute to intelligence gathering in some way.
Precisely. Think about it.
Yeah.
A soldier on patrol might notice unusual vehicle tracks.
Yeah.
A signal operator might intercept a suspicious transmission.
Right.
Or a civil affairs team might pick up chatter in a local market.
Right.
These seemingly small pieces of information, when pieced together, can be incredibly valuable.
It sounds like the document emphasizes a more holistic approach to intelligence gathering, recognizing that valuable information can come from a wide range of sources.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
It also underscores the importance of training and empowering every soldier to be an effective sensor.
Right.
This means teaching them how to observe, report, and utilize any available technologies to contribute to the intelligence effort.
So in a way, it democratizes intelligence gathering, making it everyone's responsibility rather than the exclusive domain of a select few.
Absolutely. Now, this decentralized approach to intelligence gathering directly feeds into the intelligence process, which ADP 2.0 outlines in detail.
Right. It's not just about collecting data. It's about what happens to that data once it's collected.
Exactly. The document breaks down the intelligence cycle into 6 key steps.
Okay.
Plan and direct, collect, produce, disseminate, analyze, and assess. And what's important to understand is that these steps are not linear, but rather cyclical and interconnected.
So it's more of a continuous loop with information flowing back and forth between each step.
Precisely.
Okay.
For example, the analysis of collected information might lead to adjustments in the collection plan,
Right.
or new intelligence products might be disseminated to refine the initial planning phase.
It seems like the document emphasizes the need for a dynamic and adaptable intelligence process where we're constantly learning and refining our approach based on new information.
Absolutely. And to effectively support this dynamic process,
Yeah.
we need to understand the different intelligence disciplines.
Right.
ADP 2.0 goes into detail about HUMINT, SIGINT, GEOINT, OSINT, and MESINT.
Ah, yes, the alphabet soup of intelligence disciplines.
Like that.
Could you break down what makes each of these disciplines unique and how they contribute to the overall intelligence picture?
Of course.
Okay.
Let's start with HUMINT, or human intelligence.
Okay.
This is all about gathering information from human sources. It's like interviews, interrogations, and debriefings.
Yeah.
It's often crucial in understanding enemy intentions, motivations, and capabilities,
Right.
especially in situations where technical means are limited.
So it's about leveraging human networks and understanding local dynamics, something a satellite can't do.
Exactly. Now, SIGINT, or signals intelligence,
Okay.
focuses on intercepting and analyzing electronic signals,
Right.
such as communications, radar emissions, and electronic data.
Mm-hmm.
This discipline can provide valuable insights into enemy movements, communication networks, and even intentions, depending on the nature of the intercepted signals.
That's fascinating. It sounds like SIGINT can play a significant role in early warning and threat detection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Then we have GEOINT, or geospatial intelligence, which involves the analysis of imagery and geospatial data to understand the physical characteristics of the battle space.
Okay.
This includes satellite imagery, aerial photography, and even maps and terrain analysis.
So GEOINT helps us visualize the terrain, identify key infrastructure, and track enemy movements, right?
Precisely. It's often used to confirm or deny information from other intelligence sources, providing a visual layer to the intelligence picture.
That's really interesting. What about OSINT?
Yeah.
I imagine that's become increasingly important in the age of social media and readily available information online.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
OSINT, or open source intelligence, involves gathering information from publicly available sources,
Yeah.
like news reports, social media, academic publications, and even commercial databases.
It sounds like OSINT can be a treasure trove of information,
It can be.
but it must also be incredibly challenging to sift through the noise and verify the accuracy of the data.
That's the key challenge with OSINT,
Yeah.
discerning credible information from misinformation and propaganda.
Right.
But when used effectively,
Huh?
it can provide valuable insights into enemy activities, public sentiment, and even potential threats.
I can see how it could be a powerful tool for understanding the broader context of a situation, especially in complex environments.
Yeah.
Now, what about the last discipline, MASINT?
Yeah.
That one sounds a bit more technical.
It is. MASINT, or Measurement and Signature Intelligence,
Okay.
involves the analysis of technical data to identify and characterize specific targets or activities.
Yep.
This includes things like radar signatures, acoustic signatures,
Right.
and even chemical or biological indicators.
So MASINT is about using specialized sensors and analysis techniques to identify unique characteristics or signatures that can help us track specific targets or activities.
Exactly. It's often used in conjunction with other intelligence disciplines to provide more detailed and precise information.
It sounds like each of these disciplines brings a unique piece to the puzzle, and when combined, they paint a much more comprehensive picture of the operational environment.
Precisely. And that's what makes the intelligence process so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's about weaving together these different strands of information to create a tapestry of understanding. Now, let's talk about how these disciplines come together in a real-world scenario. Imagine you're trying to track a high-value target, moving through a dense urban environment.
Right.
HUMINT sources on the ground might provide initial tips on the target's general location
Okay.
or potential hideouts.
Okay, that gives us a starting point.
Right.
But it's still a needle in a haystack situation.
Yeah.
How do the other disciplines come into play?
That's where SIGINT becomes crucial.
Right.
Analysts might try to intercept cell phone calls or track online activity associated with the target or their known associates.
Right.
This could give you a more precise location or reveal patterns of movement.
So we're starting to narrow down the possibilities.
Right.
What role does GEOINT play in this scenario?
GEOINT analysts could utilize satellite imagery
Okay.
or even drone surveillance to pinpoint potential buildings or structures where the target might be hiding. They could also analyze traffic patterns
Okay.
or identify escape routes the target might use.
So we're layering these different intelligence disciplines on top of each other to
Exactly.
build a more complete picture.
Right.
What about OSINT?
Yeah,
Could that be helpful in this situation?
absolutely.
Okay.
Analysts could scour social media for any mentions of the target,
Right.
looking for photos, videos, or even comments that might reveal their location or recent activities.
Right.
They could also check online forums or news sources for any information related to the target's group or their objectives.
It's amazing how much information is out there if you know where to look.
Yeah, it really is.
It seems like OSINT can really help fill in the gaps left by other intelligence disciplines.
Exactly.
Okay.
And finally, MANSINT could be used to identify the target's unique electronic signatures, like those emitted by their cell phone or other devices they might be carrying. This could help track their movements even in a crowded urban environment.
Wow, so it's like a symphony of intelligence disciplines working together
Yeah,
to create a comprehensive and actionable picture
exactly.
for those on the ground trying to apprehend this target.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it highlights the interconnected nature of the intelligence cycle,
Right.
how each step informs and influences the others.
Now, ADP 2.0 doesn't just focus on the collection and analysis of intelligence.
Right.
It also emphasizes the critical role of processing, exploitation, and dissemination. Or PED.
Yeah.
Why is this step so important?
PED is the bridge between raw data and actionable intelligence.
Okay.
It's where skilled analysts take all that information,
Right.
pouring in from various sources, make sense of it,
Yeah.
and transform it into clear and concise reports
Right.
that commanders can use to make informed decisions.
It sounds like a complex and challenging task,
It is.
especially in today's environment where we're bombarded with information from so many sources.
Think of PED like a refinery. It takes the crude oil of raw data and transforms it into the high-octane fuel of actionable intelligence.
Right.
Analysts need to be able to sift through massive amounts of information,
Yeah.
identify patterns, evaluate the credibility of sources, and ultimately synthesize it all
Right.
into clear and concise products.
It's almost like being a detective,
Right.
piecing together clues and building a case
Yeah,
based on the available evidence.
that's a great analogy.
Given the volume and complexity of information in modern warfare,
Right.
I imagine technology plays a significant role in PED.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Advanced algorithms and analytical tools can help analysts process vast amounts of data more efficiently,
Right.
identify patterns they might otherwise miss, and even predict future events based on historical trends.
So it's about leveraging technology to enhance human capabilities,
Exactly.
not replace them.
The most effective PED combines cutting-edge technology
Right.
with the critical thinking, judgment, and experience of skilled human analysts.
Okay.
It's a partnership that leverages the strengths of both.
This brings us to another crucial aspect highlighted in ADP 2.0,
Yeah.
the commander's role in intelligence. Why is this relationship so critical?
Because the entire intelligence enterprise is ultimately geared towards supporting the commander's decision-making.
Okay.
The commander's intent drives the intelligence requirements,
Right.
shaping what information we collect, how we analyze it,
Okay.
and what products we produce.
So it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
The commander needs intelligence to make informed decisions,
Right.
and the intelligence process needs clear guidance from the commander to ensure it's focused on the right priorities.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's a continuous dialogue
Hold on.
between the commander and the intelligence staff, ensuring that the right information is flowing in the right direction at the right time.
ADP 2.0 also delves into planning considerations for intelligence operations. Yeah. What are some of the key takeaways in this area?
One of the most important concepts is the need for a flexible information collection plan.
Okay.
The document emphasizes that the intelligence needs of the commander will evolve
Right.
as the situation on the ground changes. So our collection efforts must be adaptable and responsive.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sticking to a rigid plan in a dynamic environment could lead to missed opportunities.
Right.
Or irrelevant data collection.
Exactly.
How does ADP 2.0 suggest we address this challenge?
It stresses the importance of developing a robust intelligence architecture
Okay.
that can handle the massive amounts of data generated in modern warfare.
Right.
This includes having the right systems, processes, and most importantly, the right people in place to manage the flow of information effectively.
So it's not just about having the latest technology.
Whoa.
It's about having the human expertise to operate it effectively.
Exactly.
And make sense of the data it produces.
And that brings us to another key planning consideration.
Okay.
Identifying priority intelligence requirements.
Right.
Or PIRs.
Oh.
These are the commander's most critical intelligence needs.
Right.
The questions that must be answered to make informed decisions and achieve mission success.
It seems like establishing clear PIRs is crucial
It is.
for focusing the intelligence effort and ensuring that we're collecting and analyzing the most relevant information.
Yeah.
How does ADP 2.0 suggest we approach this process?
The document emphasizes collaboration between the commander and the intelligence staff
Okay.
to identify and prioritize PIRs.
Right.
It also highlights the need to regularly reassess and adjust these PIRs as the situation evolves.
So it's a dynamic process,
It is.
constantly adapting to the changing realities on the ground.
Exactly. And that adaptability is key to effective intelligence operations in the complex and unpredictable world we operate in today. Now let's shift our focus to how this doctrine plays out in the Army's framework of unified land operations.
Okay, so we've talked about the different intelligence disciplines and how they all come together to create a comprehensive picture.
Right.
But ADP 2.0 specifically highlights this concept of every soldier is a sensor.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what that means in a practical sense?
It's about recognizing that valuable information can come from anywhere.
Okay.
Not just traditional intelligence channels.
Okay.
It could be a soldier on patrol noticing a change in daily routines.
Okay.
A mechanic overhearing a conversation at a local garage.
Yeah.
Or a civil affairs team sensing a shift in public sentiment.
It's almost like crowdsourcing intelligence.
Right.
Leveraging the eyes and ears of everyone operating in the battle space.
Yeah.
But how do we ensure that these individual observations actually make it into the intelligence cycle and contribute to the overall understanding?
That's where training and empowerment become crucial. Every soldier, regardless of their role, needs to understand the importance of observation, how to recognize potentially valuable information, and how to report it effectively.
So it's not just about being aware of your surroundings.
Right.
It's also about knowing what to look for.
Exactly.
And how to communicate those observations in a way that's useful for intelligence analysis.
Think about it this way.
Yeah.
If a soldier spots unusual activity but doesn't know how to properly report it, that information might never make it to the analysts who could connect the dots.
Right.
It's about instilling a culture of vigilance.
Okay.
And providing soldiers with the tools and training to be effective sensors.
This brings us back to the idea of a robust intelligence architecture, which we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Having clear communication channels and processes for handling information from diverse sources is essential.
Absolutely. A decentralized approach to intelligence gathering only works if there's an efficient system for collecting, processing, and disseminating that information. ADP 2.0 emphasizes the importance of establishing these systems early on.
Right.
And ensuring that everyone understands their role in the process.
Now let's dive a little deeper into the heart of the intelligence cycle. That crucial step of processing, exploitation, and dissemination, or PED.
Right.
You described it earlier as a refinery, transforming raw data into actionable intelligence.
Yeah.
What makes this step so challenging in the modern operational environment?
The sheer volume and velocity of information we're dealing with today is unprecedented.
Right.
Think about all the sensors deployed, the constant stream of communications, the vast amount of data available online. It's a deluge of information.
Yeah.
And separating the signal from the noise is a constant challenge for intelligence professionals.
It sounds like finding a needle in a haystack, only the haystack is constantly growing and shifting.
That's a great analogy.
Analysts need to be able to sift through massive amounts of data, evaluate the credibility of sources, identify patterns and trends, and ultimately distill it all down to the essential information commanders need to make decisions.
Absolutely.
It seems like a daunting task, requiring a unique blend of analytical skills, technological proficiency, and a deep understanding of the operational environment.
It does.
How does ADP 2.0 address the niche for skilled analysts in the face of these challenges?
The document emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and professional development within the intelligence community.
Okay.
Analysts need to stay ahead of the curve,
Right.
learning new analytical techniques, mastering new technologies, and deepening their understanding of the threat environment.
So it's not just about initial training.
Right.
It's about fostering a culture of continuous learning and adaptation within the intelligence community.
Precisely. The threat landscape is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Technology is rapidly advancing, and the nature of warfare itself is changing.
To be effective, intelligence professionals must be lifelong learners,
Right.
constantly honing their skills and expanding their knowledge.
This deep dive into ADP 2.0 has really highlighted how intelligence has evolved,
It has.
becoming more complex and multifaceted than ever before.
Right.
It's clearly not just about spies sneaking around in the shadows anymore.
It's about so much more than that.
Yeah.
Modern military intelligence is a fascinating blend of technology, analysis, human intuition, and collaboration.
Right.
It requires a deep understanding of the operational environment, a mastery of analytical techniques, and a commitment to continuous learning and improvement.
And as we wrap up this exploration of ADP 2.0, I think the key takeaway for any military professional is this.
Yeah.
Intelligence is everyone's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a seasoned analyst poring over data or a soldier on patrol observing your surroundings, your contributions can make a difference.
It's about being vigilant, being curious.
Right. And recognizing that even seemingly small pieces of information can contribute to a larger understanding when pieced together with other observations.
ADP today provides a framework for how we approach intelligence in the modern battle space,
Right.
emphasizing adaptability, collaboration, and the critical role of every soldier as a sensor.
Uh-huh.
As we navigate an increasingly complex and unpredictable world, these principles will be more important than ever.
And as you continue to navigate the complexities of military operations,
Yeah.
we leave you with this thought.
Okay.
How will you contribute to a robust and responsive intelligence system?
Right.
How will you ensure that your actions, your observations, and your insights contribute to a shared understanding that enables decisive action?
That's a great question.
Food for thought as you move forward in your military career.